So, Dives Deep Dive Podcast episode 1 with Ben Schoonderbeek.
Or 3.
Oh, no.
We don't know.
We've got the whole crew here today.
Who knows?
Yeah, it could be a lot. Yeah, we got a lot of lads here.
We'll run through who's here firstly.
Put your hand up.
The name's
and say
Tom
hi.
over here.
Tommy,
Hey,
on
Tom.
the sticks. Oh, do you want these?
I'm Tom.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name's Ben, and
I'm Jake.
I'm Scott.
And who am I? What am I?
well, you're also.
What do
Ben,
you call me?
Which makes
Yeah,
it
I'm
even
Ben.
more
Daddy.
Got the
tricky.
Shundi.
This is the first time we've all been in a room together for a while, so it's good.
It's
Good to- good
it's
to
it's
be here
nice.
with
The
everyone.
vibes are high.
Lockdown's done. I'm sure you all remember this day. It's the day you got out of lockdown.
For
That's all about.
No.
probably about 6 hours.
Very
before.
well
Nah,
patient.
the only thing you're allowed to talk about is how many beers you can drink.
Doesn't even matter. We're
The whole
back. We're not talking about COVID. We're talking about that we're back together. We're all back together.
True.
It's the end of an era.
I'll shut the fuck up.
We're
sorry.
moving on with our lives, as everyone is, and it's time to go.
It's
It is
time
definitely time to fucking go.
go.
It's time to move
On
the
my-
heck on.
It is.
And also, it's time for me to hit the vape. Thank you.
I'll jump in
Well-
next for that as well, if that's all right.
We're just gonna pass you around in a circle.
So, point of the podcast. I'd say this podcast is to introduce the podcast and to talk to each other, and then talk a bit of shit, talk about our music, and have fun. We're still working
Bunch
it out,
of
really,
friends
aren't we?
catching up after a long, hard.
I saw you like 2 days ago, Granny. And Ben.
In a professional setting, we were working, Scotty, with permits.
So a bit of silence there as well. We've got to figure that out. We've got to get rid of the silence.
The
It's all right, we
radio
might be able to-
silence.
Mate, I don't mind science, honestly.
Well, how about we have a minute of silence?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's
Just to
awesome.
recollect your thoughts. And it's important.
Minute
to
of
have some
silence for our Victorians.
That's actually breakthrough podcasting because that's never been done.
It
Guaranteed.
is.
But you know,
people
you know
can
some
talk
apps
about-
some apps actually have like settings where they cut out the silence, so it just completely skips over the silence.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
So we could upload that into that.
We could upload a minute of silence, and some people would be like, "Let's have a minute silence," and then next second, I'd be like, "All right, we're back." You know?
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, why don't we do
cool,
that? Well, so
No,
Just
because
in-
some dudes don't have it, and then they go.
no, but like right now, if people may be listening at work, maybe if we even have any listeners, and if they are, maybe
all
they're
the
stressed
suits in their
out.
offices listening to us talk shit.
Yeah, maybe it'd be nice, or maybe they're at home or something. Maybe it'd be nice for them to have about 30 seconds where they just have a bit of time to themselves.
Downtime. It's like driving in the car.
Bit,
Sometimes you
bit,
hit the radio
bit,
off.
maybe we should change the topic of the podcast to just like a meditation podcast.
Yeah. I'm into
Solution,
meditation.
yeah. We're
That'd be
heaps into
nice.
meditation.
So
Actually
you want to
crazy.
feel the energy?
I spend so much time on my own. Can we not?
You don't like it, eh?
No, but it's group meditation.
I just spend a lot of time by myself, so I just gotta. It's nice to get away from it, but it's
Okay.
not that I'm by myself. I'm just out in the
Just on the-
open by myself.
Just turfing.
Yeah, there's a definite threshold, Mel, and you're fucking hanging out with yourself.
I don't know.
I-
I
I
would
used
say
to
that
do
I
that
don't
though,
like
like-
it. I don't know. I think I'm getting better, but
I used to do
I'm
that.
getting
music
better
thing,
at
dude.
my own company.
Yeah,
but
you
it
have
was
been
always
alone,
been a
Granny.
Just sitting there with the
weird,
headphones
weird
on,
thing.
just a body, or like music.
I
I
love
reckon
that.
it's so like peaceful sometimes. You just get into the zone.
But you're not even really alone then. Like,
Do you get anxiety?
Do I get anxiety?
Yeah.
Shindy's walking
I'm not-
anxiety.
I don't know, sometimes, but like not heavy anxiety. I'm
Yeah.
like, sometimes I think, oh shit, like I'm just such a fucking fuck up, like whatever. But like we all think that
Jesus.
some days. you
Yeah,
know,
fuck
like,
yeah.
I've
But
never
I
felt
don't
that.
like. I don't really get like social anxiety. Like I'm pretty bad with people I've just met. Like I'm pretty comfortable if someone's introduced me to a person.
Yeah.
But if I'm just talking to a stranger, I'm just like, I'm pretty bad.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you're pretty good. But
Benny's good.
Eh.
Benny's
Benny's
Benny
so
is my
personal.
favorite person to watch
He's
when he's
Like
met
meeting
someone.
new. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
he's good to meet
I
people.
just see him like in his head, just like cues are just triggering. And, like,
yeah, dude. That's what I was literally just about to say. I feel like I've got
he's got all
default
these,
questions.
he's got all these social cues, and they just go off one by one. And he's already like someone's finishing their sentence, and he's already fired the next cue.
But I
Yeah, I
don't reckon
love
they
it.
are, because I
Oh, yeah.
reckon they're genuine. Like, he
Yeah, they are.
genuinely
Oh, he
wants
makes
to know
it. He's
about the
making an
person.
effort, which is fucking
It's
brilliant.
awesome.
See,
Some-
like
it's
if I
anxiety
met
mixed
someone
with that as
new
well.
and like had no prior interaction, I need like a good few hours before I'm like comfortable.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone's introduced me, I'm like, "What's going on, dude?"
I'm
Go
fully
out."
like that as well.
Yeah, man.
I'm fully like that. I literally am. I like can't fucking be myself until I know that I can like talk about my own insecurities with someone else. I'm not comfortable.
I've known Ben for many years now, and some of the funniest things, like Ben's the kind of guy is when you're walking through a shopping center,
Here we go.
and the person in the middle of the shopping center that's selling you something, he will get just roped in, and just because he's so nice,
He's a
he
sucker.
just gets sucked in, and then he ends up buying like a hair product or something.
Ben's the type of dude that would get like roped into like a multi-level
I
marketing
know, I just
scam
see it
or
happening
something.
from, from
I'm
a
in like 3 or
distance.
4 different pyramid schemes at the moment.
And I'm like, oh, here we go. And then I just see the cues firing.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like that multi-level stuff? Like,
Well, funny enough,
go on.
I've met a guy today that was actually in the Church of Scientology.
Oh shit!
Swear to God. And he lost his ex-missus because of it. But he was in one, and apparently it's down in somewhere in the middle, like Craigburn. Oh, it's not in the middle, is it?
Calm down.
Top.
No, like
Oh, there is one somewhere.
Starts with C.
anyway. But he was
Can't
saying
even.
that they have like all these random things in there, and his missus was like taking money out of his bank account and paying for the fees so they could find out more about like the
It's
different
such a
tiers.
fucking
And,
scam.
yeah,
dude.
it's like
Have you
such
watched
a
the Louis
dude.
Theroux doco on it?
I have, but
It's
I've never met anyone that had been involved in it, so I
Totally.
thought about it differently, and I was like, just crazy because it's like, holy shit, like it's just such a well put together scheme. It's like genius, like the way that they've just figured out how to like make people like just a little bit more, and then you're like, oh, I better get into it, and then they tell you something, and you're like, you're not quite pure, and then you're just like, fuck, I gotta fix that, and then you're like, you're just paying money. It's fucking.
It's funny
crazy.
how many you come across so many people in like your day-to-day life, and you don't know nothing about them. But like, I wonder like what percentage of people have ever been like into like a cult or like Scientology or something and been like way down that rabbit hole.
Mm,
But if you
probably
didn't
a
know them
lot.
personally, you'd never be able to tell.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Hey, what about that weird, maybe cult in America, Benny? the weed farm that they're going weed, and then there was that old dude, and everybody just kept randomly giving him cans of Diet Coke as like a sign of respect, and he was like the leader.
He just had a raging Diet Coke addiction. He's like, pay me.
He
in
was
Diet
just a
Coke.
weird guy. Like,
Is that when we were on
That's
we saw him by accident?
Dude,
and
so
they had
we-
movie nights and stuff.
quick, like real quick detail of the story because it's fucking pretty funny. We were driving in America, back roads from somewhere from like California, I don't know, somewhere along California. It's like an old dirt road,
Yep.
and it's hot as fuck. It's like 40 degrees in a van, no aircon, and like Benny was on the roof because there's no one around. So Benny's on the top of the roof. There was me, Ben, and Nick, 3 of us in the car, and Ben was just cruising on the roof, like spread out, holding onto the sides, chilling,
It was a rush.
and then and then I think in the van, yeah, like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going like not too fast, like 40, 50k, I don't know.
No, miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we like, and anyway, we turn a corner, and then there's like a random little town there, and then there's just like 8 people just sitting down like in the shade, and there's like a milk bar there. So we pull in, and they'd like see us coming. They're pretty like interested in what the fuck's going on, and then we end up going to talk to them, and then got food and stuff. Turns out they're all growing like weed there, like legally, because it's like popping off over there. Yeah, and they were loving it, and they were all just the strangest bunch of people, just like outcasts and just, I don't know, just weird people. And then there was this old dude who was just real quiet, sitting by himself, and I can't remember his name, but anyway, everybody would just keep bringing him cans of Coke and just say like "G'day," and then walk away from him, like, and just deliver it to
Every
him.
time he got the can of Coke, did he crack it and start drinking
No,
it?
he'd put it down next to him. Like,
Oh,
thank
so
you.
he had a
And
Did
good
he
he'd
one.
go,
he have
"Yeah,
like
bye."
a Pepsi Max thrown like around him, just like
He just had like probably 3 or 4 cans just on the go,
Jesus.
and it was weird. And then they were trying to get us to stay because they had like
Maybe it's a form of
movie night
currency.
there.
Very
Fuck, I
legit.
don't know. It was just weird.
Maybe a
Weird
sign of
town.
respect or something. That reminds me of what's his name?
Yeah.
Summit as well.
Summit, dude.
Summit was funny as
Summit?
This guy Summit, we met him in
His name was Summit.
His name was Summit. And
Dude, you know someone with a name like that is just gonna be like strangest dude.
well, it gets stranger.
Funny,
Really.
dude.
We went to like this place in the middle of Oregon, and there was like this random town that we weren't meant to go to, and like Nick was like, "Oh, we got to go to this place because then we can get to this other place from there that's like the wind surfing capital of the world or something."
Yep.
And so we were staying at this other place. Anyway, we were at this lake, and we met this other dude, and his name was Summit, and then he had this other friend there as well. But he was like telling us about. Fuck, Scotty, to be honest, I'm starting to
He
lose,
told us about the
lose some,
energy,
like,
man. He's
some
that's where it all
details.
began, dude. We were in a music store looking around, just as a random music store there, and we were like playing guitars and stuff, and he was there as well.
That's right.
That's how we met him, and he was a real like confident dude and just like outgoing, didn't give a fuck. And he'd be like, "You guys want to jam?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Yep.
And he'd be playing guitar and like singing in the top of his lungs, just like fucking what he was singing, John Butler Trio kind of shit. And then yeah, like instantly we're like, this guy's all right. And then we started hanging out with him. And then he took us down to like he was a local of the town for his whole life and stuff. And he showed us all the spots and that fucking bridge that everyone jumped off, or the swimming lake and stuff.
Like he was telling us like the cleansing ridge right there.
Yeah.
You jump off and there's like you could get cleansed by the river because the energies are powerful in there.
Yeah.
some I forgot what it was, but people who died there or something like that. And it was like Sacred River or something. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
have been
So
So you
polluting
went in
there.
India?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was just like a fascinating dude, and he was talking to us about the energies and how everything's connected, and then that's how the whole energy thing started.
That's where it all began.
The
yeah.
energy.
My man.
It's like
He meditates. Or does
does. He
psychedelics.
builds those rock
Or both.
fucking tower things, you know?
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
Have
those
you
things
seen
that
Have you seen them
That's
on the
sick.
way to like Apollo Bay?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Oh, I
They're
don't know where the
powerful.
place is, but I've seen it.
My
build those
friends,
towers.
when they did like bits of like Mexico and South America, and like everywhere they went, they had this like white lighter, and heaps of people were like, "Oh, dude, you got the fucking white lighter. That's bad fucking luck."
A pretty
Like,
lighter.
yeah, everyone's like, "Dude, white lighter, fucking bad luck."
Fair enough.
And they're like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, this is is madness. Why the fuck is everyone talking about white lighters?"
Superstitions.
Anyway, they like went into this one country, South America, so like hell sketch, right? They went into this one country and they're going through to get the visas, and the bloke of the boy was like, "Oh no, you don't need this one. Don't worry." And they're coming back out the other way when they go back, and they're like, "Where's your fucking stamp or whatever?" They got put in a fucking jail. They got like jailed
For what? For not having.
for not having the stamp, and they got deported.
Were they
And
Oh,
everyone's
wow.
and then they look in the pocket. They're like,
white
white lighter,
dude.
bro. White lighter. One of the girls was like, she was the only girl in the group, and she got segregated from the rest of the group. And they had to spend like 2 days in like a Mexican jail.
Wow, that's full on.
nuts.
That'd have been.
Fair
Did you
dinkum.
say anything sketchy happened in the jail?
I don't know, but like they got deported. And then they stayed for Christmas, and then they went back.
Oh, really?
They probably didn't buy any white lighters after that, though.
Yeah, fair
Get
enough.
rid of the white lighters.
As
probably
As
got
if they
rid of
sell them.
It's a good tip.
Yeah,
As if
legit,
they're all around
legit.
it. Like
Well, that's probably part of it, man.
they sell
Only
the
sell
tourist
white
white lighters.
so that they can.
Which ones are
Deport
the
'em.
good luck ones?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part.
Should be a random dip, and that decides your fate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legit.
I'd say that's how
What
it
color
goes.
do you reckon's the luckiest?
Green.
Red?
Red.
Well,
I like red.
Green?
I'm
No,
a
I'd
if-
say green.
luck of the Irish.
Green.
if white's
Well,
bad,
yeah, green.
Yeah.
if white's
Bias,
bad,
bias.
then black is good because that's
Bro,
yin
it's
and
the
yang,
opposite,
baby.
Right? Yeah.
Oh
that would
yeah,
make
true.
sense.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
yin and
fucking-
yang, right?
That's
I'm
the
just
answer
telling you
right
that's
there.
that's the fact.
That's a fact.
That's
and,
legit.
uh,
An objective
Red's
truth.
also like the devil color.
Yeah.
If you want to think about
Black
that.
is?
No, red, like the devil's red.
Oh
True,
yeah, true.
True.
Fire hurts. Fire
Fire
hurts.
hurts.
Usually white
Mm,
is good
so-
and black's bad.
Blue?
Yeah.
Blue's
Yeah.
pretty chill. What
Yeah,
about
blue's good.
green? Jake,
Cut-
green.
Yin and yang.
Green, luck of the
Well,
Irish.
green
thing, I reckon.
actually is the luck of the Irish. Like
Green means go. That's what I reckon.
Green
Yeah.
does mean
It
go.
does mean go.
why is
pass.
red the fastest color if red's a stoplight?
Dude, red's the
Well
fucking
said,
fastest
man.
color because
Yeah.
Fucking good point.
Don't know.
you know.
That's marketing from Ferrari.
That's
It
fucking
has-
Forget it.
crazy,
It
legit.
absolutely
That
has to
It's
actually
be.
indoctrination, and
We're all
you just
suckers.
got to leave that out
Tom,
of
the
your
shirts
mind.
are
We
red.
don't
You
stand
can't
for
say
it.
that, all right? Like the diver shirts make you fast. I
They go
reckon.
quick.
They make you
They
actually
do.
go a
really
lot quicker
fast.
They do.
Yeah.
with everything.
You'll be in your diver shirt walking down the street, and you'll
extra
just be
2 kilometers per
permanently
hour.
like on the right side of the path because you're constantly overtaken. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Well,
Yeah.
it might be
You
less of a physical thing and more of a mental
Yeah.
awareness and just quick wits.
I think as well,
It's
like
Dives
colors
fans
have
just have quick wits.
Exactly.
colors have frequencies as well. Obviously.
Obviously.
Anyway, sorry,
Don't
let's
you-
talk about frequencies?
Yeah.
Do you think it's like
Pretty
if
sure
we
it's the
if we
fastest
thought
frequency.
about colors? Okay, so how do we know that your yellow and your green is
Dude,
different?
I used
Yeah,
to think about this
yeah,
as a kid all the
Yeah,
time. Like,
yeah.
what
So
is
I
what
don't
I
know
perceive?
that if what I'm
Perception.
seeing is the same as
It's-
what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
Yeah,
saying.
look
dude.
at
Like,
a
like,
picture.
like
I
to
don't
me,
know-
like,
I don't know
to you, I
anything
could look
about
like
this.
a crazy blob thing or
Mm,
something.
yeah.
you know? Like,
Fuck yeah.
it's
And,
trippy as fuck.
well, like
Kinda.
you guys might have pink skies. For me, what I
Yeah,
consider
totally.
pink, but it's obviously blue.
Yeah.
And then
And there's
Yeah.
no way of knowing.
And it's,
There is no way of knowing.
no, not until we download our brain onto a computer, dude.
Yeah.
I've always
true.
thought like I don't know, this is a weird one, but green like grass and then blue skies. I've always thought that's like not that great of a contrast. I don't know. I'm
They
just
need to
not
do
a-
better?
Not
So
a,
you
I
have
think
a
it
word
could
to
be
Mother
better.
Nature
Yeah,
about
well,
that.
I'm just
I
speaking-
disagree. I think.
Next
Just when you
meeting.
pass through the pearly gates, so have
Yeah.
a
But
have
I
a
was
chat
like,
to have a
obviously
chat to
people-
guys like, oh, mate, I don't know when you're crown the earth. I think You might have
The
fucked
colour
up there,
palette-
man.
Yeah,
we have
see,
to
at
wait till
beach-
next
at beach
winter
is way better.
equinox.
Yellow,
So we can
yellow and
speak to
blue. Yellow and blue is much more satisfying to
How many
me.
yellow beaches have you
Nice
seen? though?
contrast.
Well, the sand.
Yellow
Oh,
beach.
I'm a
Yellow's-
big fan
Well,
the
of.
sand's
like,
not yellow.
whatever
Maybe in
colour-
kids' drawings, but
It's the closest
Sand's
color.
I'm a big
natural.
fan
Yeah,
of
I
just
thought
like
yellow was like
sunset on a beach.
Not quite
You know,
yellow,
That's the best. You don't get better than that, I reckon.
I like
when
beach
you have
sunset.
like nice no water, like no wind water
Yeah.
and a sunset on it.
Yeah.
Benny
Double up,
Sunsets over
beauty.
there, he loves them.
That is powerful energy right there. That's the kind of energy that makes you just go
You get
and
some
go,
Do you ever look
Powerful
at your
energies
sunset
down
photos?
at your holiday house.
yeah,
After you take them, do you ever look back at them?
Sunset.
I do actually.
Yeah.
You do.
Sandy.
I've got a collection. I've got like a
because
little
everybody's
photo.
quick to take a photo of the sunset. Does anyone actually go back and look at that photo?
I like rate them against each other.
I only
like,
ever
like-
look at them if I
Yeah.
like, post them to my
I
Instagram.
used to take photos
I
of
don't-
sunsets, but then I realized I'd never looked at them.
But-
So I'm like, I should just be
be in the moment.
when I'm there, just look at the sunset and be like, all right, that's nice, and then just get on with my life.
Do
'Cause
you
I
have
take a
like that
photo,
feature on your
don't
phone
think
though?
about it enough, and then you don't look back at them.
My,
Yeah, but
my
that's
phone's
like-
got
Why
a
do we
feature.
do
It's
that?
like
Why do
this
we take
photo
photos
from like
of-
2 years ago. It'll
Yeah.
remind me this day 2 years ago.
That's a good point.
This day,
yeah.
and it's
well,
sick.
that's a nice because then you get to relive a memory. I
Yeah,
guess.
so like I've been in lockdown and just like looking at my Thailand holiday the whole time. I'm like, and then I look at it and I cry because I'm like stuck in my room. But,
Yeah, I know it's pretty sad.
but it's good too.
At least we
Yeah,
got
just
stuff
I'm
think
to
in a
about how
how
weird
fucking
thing
sick it
that,
was.
like, I don't
Just
think
quickly, I'm just going to insert
things-
my buzzer there.
Yeah.
So,
Bing,
that got that got
Sorry,
Strike
man.
one.
things
I
that I
don't
see
know.
daily, I don't think they're worthy of taking photos of. But you've brought up a good point where you can use it as like a form of a memory, which is like what photos really are for.
Soph does it heaps. Like I've never met like a family that does it so much, but I reckon once a month she'll just go back through like the archives of her photo albums and just.
Well, I
do
go,
that
like,
as well.
5
Oh, yeah, I
years
do.
back.
I do it when I don't pay my bill and I run out of fucking data. And I'm on the toilet and I'm like, what am I going to do?
Think of the good times.
Yeah. Remember that time in Thailand?
That's always good.
No, but photos are okay, really. Like if you're like on top of it,
Yeah.
you've always got a collection of shit, especially for like divers. Like we can always have something there that we can like use for whatever.
Yeah, I think one day that they'll be of more value to us than they are right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, of course. Like,
Like-
a photo you take
yeah.
yesterday is fucking. It's just a photo. It's just the dudes. But
Yeah.
then you look at it in 5 years' time, you're like,
Photos are epic.
it's just rose-colored glasses, man. Everything looks better.
Yeah, reminds you of
years
the old
ago.
days. Well, that's like
Yeah.
Be
going
having
back.
the worst day and you take a photo of it, and in 5 years' time, you're like, oh, what a great time.
Yeah,
There'll be so many reasons why. Better location, felt better.
same
Yeah.
location.
I don't know.
That's
so many
like
reasons.
Isn't
going
it
back
weird,
through the old
isn't it?
photos at Quamby, like when we were doing the first EP,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
looking at that and I'm like, that was sick because it like even reminds me of like the mindset we're in when we were
Yeah.
back there. We were like learning, and also everything was new. I remember just like leaving the solar farm, going like, I'm gonna spend my life dedicated to music now. And, like,
Yeah.
that mindset
But
was cool.
that's I was thinking about it the other day because now that we're still putting out Now I'm Home, but I've been looking at the 2-year flashbacks from pretty much now is when we were recording it. And I'm thinking about how we were all in that mindset, how we were all like working a lot of that time. We all quit our jobs. No one had a job at that point, and we're just like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
And it was just like such a
It's such a
it
powerful
was,
feeling.
yeah, it did. It felt like
Yeah.
and it was such a purpose. Like we were at Scotty's house, and when we were doing it in the upstairs room at Scott's, and then we had that bit of paper on the wall, we were clocking on and
Yeah.
off,
that's,
and we're doing like 10, 12-hour days, and we're just loving it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's when you know you don't actually. You're like your job is the thing you love. Obviously.
Yeah, but it's like
Even
it's a
though we
good
don't get paid.
little leap that I guess we all took to just to take the time to do that because it's been
A
beneficial,
whirlwind
I
of
guess,
things,
yeah.
It's been hectic.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was like the right place, the right time, and didn't know what we were doing, smashed it out, and it's been
I was thinking about
a
it
positive thing
yesterday.
for us.
Give me a pass here, boys. Just don't buzz me, all right?
no
Oh,
promises,
man.
dude. But
Yeah.
go.
I was thinking, there's like two sides to every coin, right? It's like, yeah, COVID's been rubbish, but at the same time, if COVID didn't happen, maybe you boys might not have been signed either. So,
Yeah.
like,
Maybe
You
not.
know,
He's still pumping
Absolutely.
you'd
Really?
still
Be
be
making
pumping out
music
shit for
regularly.
sure, but like,
I
who
think-
knows
yeah,
what
I
would
think
have
it was
happened,
like-
you know, like-
From that point where we started recording the first time, that was when the commitment fucking clicked.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think as well. Once we got onto Logic, that was the game changer.
That was a game changer for sure.
Writing songs changed completely. Like it was like instead of just sitting down and having like the best possible thing that you can make to perform it live to the boys in order to turn into a song, it turned into like there's an idea, put it into Logic, and then work on it from there, and then turn into like a song.
Yeah.
Without having to perform it live and
Yeah.
like getting other people to believe in it the same way you do. You can
Yeah.
actually hear it. You can actually like
Mm.
look at it and be like, that part's good, that part's bad, like that sounds cool, that's not good. And then from there it was just like fucking that's the funnest thing in the world.
Dude,
Like,
I was thinking about this last night actually. Apple, obviously, like we use Logic, made by Apple. Apple make fucking everything. Like I was going through the loops, like the samples and the fucking all the free shit on the Logic thing, and there's sounds in there which you hear all over the world, like in pop songs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they've put the sounds in there free to use. And like even Steve Jobs from his grave is still impacting like music being made today in a way. Like it's pretty crazy. And like without that bit of technology, we'd be doing things way differently. And
Wasn't
Yeah.
it bought out by someone else though?
Steve Jobs, mate.
dunno.
Logic was a company before it was made
Yeah.
by and then Apple bought it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
True.
So-
It's actually way more sinister.
maybe it
isn't
wasn't old
It's just
Steve.
like,
Yeah,
you know,
Steve
we're
is
like
done good.
thanking Steve for making this project,
But
but
they
really he
innovate.
just bought them out. You know? It's just
Yeah.
fucking capitalism, you know.
Well, he's made it good, man. It's got an
Yeah.
Apple way about it as well because it's so user friendly.
yeah, and also whatever they've done, like they're like an innovative company. Like whatever they're gonna buy, they're gonna just make it way cooler because they're gonna have like creative as fuck people in there doing like creative shit, taking creative risks.
But
Yeah.
then there's the other fact that like we're all kind of guitarists and like you guys were drummers, and then the synthesizer came in, and
Yeah.
that was just like a
Synthesizers,
whole
it's
new
just
world
like-
of color. That was like that was one of the
It's
biggest.
such a
game
great
changers.
word to use, whole new word of colour.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what it was
It
like.
actually
dude.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could just it's just you can
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's the whole range, the whole spectrum of colour.
Yeah.
At your
pretty
fingertips.
much.
you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the feelings as well. Like some of the shit you can do with synths is just like the coolest thing ever. Like just the certain sounds mixed with the melody. Like
Yeah.
when we go back to like slow song and stuff, like some of those sounds, like as soon as I hear them, I'm like flashing back to that time at Scotty's in like Golden Hour and we were like getting pissed and
Mm.
those sounds were coming through and we were just like really fucking feeling it. Like the mood's right there. You
Yeah.
can listen to it over and over again and then you just like hear those melodies and I just think about that. I can like literally go back to it in my head, just like experiencing
definitely.
it. Fucking
And one of the coolest things about a synth is like one patch over like a rhythm and a melody would just be completely useless and it just wouldn't sound any good. But then you put it over something else and that one that wasn't that good can be amazing.
yeah.
So it's just like
The
in
contrast.
context to every different project, like everything you got going.
Yeah. The good you need to have the good contrast going on. Like just like real like damn sounds and have that like sharp one over the top of it and the sharp one's like real epic.
Mm. We haven't
Yeah.
even scraped the surface.
Definitely
Yeah.
change the game, dude. But then again, they're fucking expensive.
But you don't have to spend the money we spend on it.
We spend
Well, you just sell them. I reckon that's the play. You
Yeah.
buy
Oh, and
'em,
we're
you
playing
just- you
a
sell it,
super
buy another
hardware
one, sell it.
game. Like we don't have to be doing that. We could be
Mm.
getting software.
Yeah,
Well,
like
what's
heaps
that
of
thing
It's
shit.
that
not-
Craig
not
was
our
talking about
thing.
like a while back?
You don't even need
Oh,
a
yeah,
hardware.
Would that work with synths and shit?
Oh,
I don't know.
it just
What
changes
was
the tone.
just a thing
Yeah,
with
okay,
like
so it's not the same.
plugins and fucking software. It's just like just doesn't have that
It
touch
doesn't have the
feeling.
same feel.
Yeah. And it's not like there's something
Yeah,
appealing
there's
about
something.
hardware.
There's something definitely like
You
it just
wanna
feels
play it.
better when it's
Yeah, it's
When it's
just sitting
real.
there. Even like you can get the modular ones that you have to plug into the keys, which is like that
Yeah.
Juno replica that I bought, but it's not as good if it just doesn't have the keys. Like once the
Yeah.
keys there and you just switch it on and just bang it out. You don't have to work. You
Yeah.
just play it.
But even
Well,
like
it's an instrument.
yeah.
so even like little things like how that Rev 2 that you got with the how much resistance there is in the knobs and you
Mm.
spin them and you want
Yeah,
to spin
just
like that little thing like that
Tactile.
obviously makes fuck all difference to the sound. It's a cosmetic thing, but it's like the fact that when you know that you've got that synth there that's got epic, it all
like,
feels good.
quality, yeah.
The quality of it, you want to sit down and play it.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
like
inviting, yeah.
inspiring. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you
And
wanna-
yeah,
toy.
it's inspiring. For
Yeah.
you.
yeah.
we
so it's
spend
like,
we spend the majority of the time making songs on the synthesizers, man.
Yeah.
Tuning them.
yeah.
Over
Yeah.
half the time on songs is just like trying to get the right synth sound to inspire us, and
Absolutely.
then it locks in,
Yeah,
Sounds OP.
and then we all celebrate.
How good's just being in this room? Like before, remember when we were working on Morning Sun, and we were in this room and we were like getting some real cool sounds in, and then you'd be at that point where everyone's pissed, and we'd just be like three on that couch having fun talking, and then someone's like working out something and they're recording something, and then like someone was like, "Ooh, yeah,
Bang
what was
on.
that?" And then all of a sudden everyone's
Everyone's
like
ears will perk
buzzing,
up.
and then you're just like, "Oh, that's a good one," and it's like
Yeah.
coming through the KRKs, everyone's together, and it's like,
There's no better feeling.
Something
Yeah.
just clicks.
Hit
and then
record.
Everybody knows at the same time. You're like, that's the one.
yeah, you go, "That's spicy,
Yeah.
spicy meatball."
Everyone stands up and fucking moves
"Oi,
around,
give me a
drives
go with
around.
that, mate," and
Yeah.
everyone's trying to fucking fight for
Yeah,
the melody and
Oh,
shit.
Everyone's
Yeah,
sort of,
then
like,
then
dead
we're
and
all sitting around the same instrument. We're like, "What have you playing, eh?" Instead of something else.
Give
And
us
it's
a
just like,
crack.
and everyone, it's just like
this is how you do it.
micromanaging
Yeah.
whoever's on the instrument.
Yeah,
And then it's
Poor
just
cunt who's found the sound. Just like, fuck off.
yeah.
He's just spent an hour like just sound hunting where everyone's drinking piss and just fucking around.
Yeah.
I like this.
And then all 4 people walk away and be like, "Well, we equally contributed." To that." It's like we really did a good job there.
That's the
It's
process.
like one person's done everything.
Yeah,
Without
I'm
the
pretty sure
boys there.
I wrote that one.
Yeah.
that was mine.
What
That
are they
was
like
mine.
what kind of moments should we call that? They should have a signature name. What's the moment when they would get that click? What should we call it?
The
It's
boys.
cool.
The
The
boys.
boys. That's just the boys.
It's a great
It reminds me of I was watching this thing. It was like a TED talk or something. It was like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
No,
Yeah.
heard the name though.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
an
that
actor.
dude from Inception.
yeah, that
he's a
dude.
Good as
But he
actor.
talks about like how like acting was like his passion, and like when he was on like stage, like, well, not on stage, but like on set, and like they call like action, his whole world just like shrinks, and it's just him in that moment. Like nothing else matters.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I was watching that. I was like, that's so powerful. Like I guess you call it like the flow state almost.
Yeah, that
like
was-
where you go into that zone and it's just like you're so immersed in what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
that feeling is like so
My issue when we're
fucking
recording, I
powerful.
get sucked into my phone and I just end up flicking on the couch. But I think we probably should have a policy like phones in the bowl outside of the studio, so you can't like
True.
zone out because it's
Yeah,
so
joke.
easy to just be like,
Just scroll.
yeah.
It is easy.
That's
to
a
get sucked
personal
in.
trap. You got to overcome.
It is.
Maybe
It
it's
is.
me.
Literally is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
your own fault. Like I've gone through so many times where I've like deleted Instagram or Facebook or something, and then what time is it? Sorry to go off track.
It's
8 o'clock. Anyway, I've gone off topic, but
No, you haven't.
no, not
There's
really.
no topic.
yeah, no, I forgot what I was saying though.
No, you were saying about how you deleted
Deleting
Instagram and
Facebook
stuff.
and
Gotcha.
shit.
And then I deleted Instagram and Facebook, and I'd be like, well, that's done, and then I can concentrate on stuff, and then I get the app back, and then I slip back into it, but it's not the app; it's obviously me, and it's like I gotta
Yeah.
just. It's like more of a.
It's
You
a
gotta like
discipline
discipline
thing.
yourself.
Yeah.
But-
It's fucking hard, dude, because like, like as much as like everyone would love to get rid of fucking social media, we're so cheers, man. We're like everything that happens today, you find out through social media. Like someone's
Yeah,
having a
and now-
party, it's on Facebook.
And now it's a
I
tool.
find music news through social media.
Yeah.
Like, like it's kind of like ingrained into society. Like I know Scotty's pretty good at it.
And especially like over the
part.
last 2 years,
Purely
the
good
only
discipline.
thing into anyone like we've been using it to
Yeah, well,
I
that's
guess
the thing. As
communicate 'cause we
musicians, you have to
couldn't be
fucking
face
use
to
it
face.
too. Yeah.
Dude,
Ah,
imagine
true.
if
That too.
social media wasn't a thing and we were a band. Like, how the fuck would you do that?
You just
Well,
slog it out.
you'd
brother.
need a-
Like,
you'd
Well,
need
we'd
a-
move in together. That's what we'd
You
do.
just relentlessly
Yeah.
tour, and that's what makes.
But the
great
amount
bands.
of like
Yeah.
like we talk to each other flat out all day in our group chat just
Yeah.
on things and like
Yeah.
imagine we didn't have that. Imagine we had to get on the phone on like the landline and call it like do like
Dude,
Dude,
business-
the
business
telcos,
screen
the
splits up
telcos,
and shit.
you'd have
Yeah.
to spend so much money on phone
Yeah.
bills and shit,
yeah, and
Yeah.
now we're at like the obviously every point you're at the peak of communication, but
That's-
right now we're at a really good point.
Yeah, totally. We always bitch about how fucked everything is, but
Well, it is
yeah, we've
fucked.
got
to be
good stuff.
fair.
It is.
Blast it!
We got to be grateful for where we're at,
Yeah.
but you got to limit yourself and fuck Mark Zuckerberg every now and then.
Yeah, fuck him.
Tell
He's
him.
ju-
We got
well,
a song coming out about that cunt.
yeah, literally.
Stay tuned.
If you're listening,
Zuck.
I mean, actually, I don't think so. Just what Tom said.
That's a good point. It's easy to get sucked in.
But yeah,
So they
You
get
got to
you, man.
remember, we're
Well-
humans, we're dudes, man.
It's the same as
Mm.
any addiction,
true.
like with social media and like heroin. The first step is
Yeah, we're all
Just-
familiar with
just-
that.
Just like social media, and then fucking like smack.
whatever
just
it
like
is. It's
two
like
extremes.
the step to recovery is like admitting it.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
You like firstly admit, yep, I'm addicted to
This.
fucking my
Candy
phone
Crush.
or whatever it is,
My mum is
and then you fucking sort
addicted.
it out. I don't know.
It worked for
she
Lou
can't watch a
Reed.
telly show without playing like Candy
Still,
Crush.
still,
Still.
still going.
She on the CR.
Wow. It's like the
Yeah.
modern.
Oh, I don't know if it's
slot
Candy Crush, but
machine.
it's like one of those similar games.
Does she put
My
money
mum's
into it?
on.
I don't know if
And
you
you
can
know,
do that, but is that a thing?
like our whole she managed to get off it for a while, but now she's like back on it, and she can't like watch TV without it.
Really?
And it's even if we're watching like something with subtitles, she'll still be playing it, and like Like
Yeah.
me, Dad, even so, sometimes I'm like, just put it down. She's like, the only reason I haven't fallen asleep yet is because I'm playing this.
That's
And
like
that's how I
Ben.
can watch
Ben
the
can't
show.
watch TV without his guitar.
Yeah, well, there you go. Like everyone's got something. Like I'll do a scroll during a show sometimes. So like we've all got our shit, I guess. But you're right,
We'll get
Scotty.
our
It's like
problems, man. Yeah.
admitting it is the first step. Which
You get a
she
lot of them,
she
don't you,
she,
Scotty?
she,
Oh, full of them.
she will never like admit
Roasted.
that it's like she thinks it's a positive.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Power to her.
Step one, admit it.
Has
Yeah.
she got the blue glasses or you can turn your phone
Yeah,
into
the
night
blue.
mode and
Yeah.
turn it into like a Kindle essentially. Well, it's not a Kindle really.
Just
I don't
takes the
know if
colour
turning
out.
your phone
Takes those,
into
like,
a Kindle
ones
on
that will
Candy Crush would,
Why?
Yeah.
change all that much. to be honest.
I don't know if it's true.
Still
I
got
know.
the
I've heard
addictive
that. as
properties.
well,
Yeah.
They
I've
set
heard
it
it.
up with colours which are meant to like addict you.
I know, red,
Yeah,
blue,
well, dude, it's the
green.
same as
Yeah.
like,
All
dude,
these
it's all the
colours. All those
bright
nice-
colors, all the pokies, and
All the
all like
primary
when
colours and
you
the
do like a good
secondary.
swipe and it flashes, like fuck, good work, you know.
Yeah, it's
like,
endorphins. and
I
shit.
reckon.
that's the
I reckon
same
the
with,
best game at that was Modern Warfare 2. Just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
have you heard
dude,
how
that
fast
shit
food
sucked
has
me
the
into
similar kind of thing? Like they've got those like
Yeah,
I think certain
Yeah.
colors will trigger certain things.
it's red. Red's the color. That's
Mhm.
why KFC, Red Rooster, Hungry Jacks,
Divers.
Macca's, Divers use red because it's like such a fuck. It's the color that draws you in. Think about it, all. Do
you know what?
Majority
Might
of all the
trigger something
fast
in-
food
I was gonna-
companies have
All
red.
right, Ben knows. Come
Go
on.
on, Ben.
So every color's got a frequency.
What do you mean? What do you mean frequency though?
Like how? Like all right. So I
They
don't want to butcher
vibrate
it,
at different
but
frequencies.
yeah, your eye picks up like frequencies of stuff, like light reflecting off something.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then red has like I can't remember if it's like the quickest or the slowest, but it's got one of them, and that's the one that like excites you the most.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
they call it
That's
the
why
quickest
red's
colour?
my favorite
yeah.
color.
Well, I don't know. Like I just thought of it earlier. I don't know if that's true, or not, but like but it makes sense.
Is it the
'cause, like,
color that your eye draws to the quickest? So
I reckon
if
so.
we're anywhere in this room right now, we see red. Is our eye going to be drawn to that color the quickest?
I reckon it's
believe-
like
Maybe.
definitely
I
the
feel like that
brightest
could
color.
happen.
I believe it's because it's the most contrasting in nature. If you look
Yeah,
at nature,
totally.
it's so rare. You get it in poppies, and everyone loves a poppy.
That's a good
A
point.
rose. We all
True.
love a
We love
fucking
a
rose.
puppy.
That
We,
is
we
a
love
good-
it. We
That's
love
the
a puppy
contrast of
'cause it's got
nature.
a
Roses are
venom, but-
You can't
overrated.
If you want to look for an answer, you look at where we started, and we're just natural beings.
Exactly. That's a
We're
good
born
point.
from
So maybe that's why I
wherever the
don't
fuck
like
we came
blue and
from.
green because it's just a natural color. And
Yeah,
I'm addicted to anything that's not so natural, like that caterpillar that I saw today.
Dude,
Exactly.
that was green though.
That was green, but it had yellow on it. It's just pretty.
That
cool.
was the
It
had
most
like a
hectic
pearl
back.
shit. We should insert it into the video just so people can see.
yeah,
like,
that's like that's
Tripped out
a
shit.
Now,
first of its kind kind of.
Mother
animal.
Nature is the greatest poet. No,
Mm.
everyone just
Dude,
has to remember that.
I agree with
I
that.
reckon-
Now, there's no, like, maybe you could say, okay, there's a reason this exists. Well, no, maybe think from this perspective. Mother Nature is a beautiful poet, and she makes things just because they're beautiful and not because they have to exist. There's something to consider.
That's
So
actually
we
worth
should enjoy
considering.
everything that she makes.
Dude, I was
Dude,
watching this
she's-
David Attenborough
she's
doco, and it
she's
was talking
epic.
about how like nature is like so creative. Like
Yeah,
you're watching
that's
all
it,
these
brother.
like hectic, tripped out
Yeah, man.
animals that you'd never see, and just so like complex, and like there's all these different like elements that like a human could probably
Yeah,
never
man.
think up, and it's just like that happened just through nature. Like think about how many different like millions of species there are.
Dude,
Yeah.
you heard
It's
about
just through fucking nature.
That's
That's
an
like
interest-
so
it's interesting
tripped
though
out,
because I think
man.
it's different for different people. Because I am so much more roped in by like a colorful city than I am like something like a beach or something. I'd rather be like somewhere like flashing and colorful than being
But,
on a
like,
hill.
At the same time, if you're stuck in that city the whole time, I reckon
Maybe.
you'd
Yeah.
like
Well,
I
there's
reckon,
there's different mindsets. Nice to get away
like if
from
you
that.
saw that city during the daytime, it's not as nice, is it? Whereas
Mm.
like a colourful city at night, like it's super pretty, but like
It's only the contrast as well. If you live in
Yeah,
a city,
true.
and
Yeah.
then you're obviously going to want the fucking
what
That's
we
a
were
good
talking about
point.
before.
epic mountains.
Depends what
balance.
makes you tick,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're fucking into.
Loves a balance.
We're all different.
Yeah.
Like Nick, for example, he grew up in Tynong. I don't want to speak out of turn here and
Go on.
say something that's not true, but I feel like when I've spoken
Just
to
say
him,
what you maybe
Bring it
think.
in.
what I've
No, no, no,
interpreted from him,
I'm
Don't say
speculating.
Nick.
oh yeah,
Mr. X.
I've thought, yeah. All right, I'll get rid of Nick. We won't talk about Nick then. Let's say there was a guy like Nick. He grew up in Tynong.
Let's call him Nick.
He was. I think he was saying that he like loves the countries and stuff like that because that's where he grew up.
Yeah.
And then, but because he grew up there, he wanted to move to the city, like when he was like real young, because he was like sick of the country.
Yeah.
And then that's what he did. But
I
yeah,
reckon it's I reckon
Moral of the
the
story
move,
there,
the
Ben?
move into the
I think when
city
you grow up
thing, though,
Actually,
somewhere,
what's
you
the
want to
point?
go the
You want
the
something.
opposite.
You want what you can't have, I
So-
guess. You want the chase.
Yeah.
Natural.
I reckon just like the city thing though, it's just like, you know, if especially if you grow up in the country, but like city kids that grow up in the city still stay in the city. But like I reckon it's just because as a kid, like as a young, like a 20-year-old or something, you need shit to do. You need stimuli.
Oh,
you
the
need to go out.
the
and-
grass is always greener.
yeah,
on the
but
other
at the
side,
same
like,
time, like you
just
like
want
there's
what
so
you
much
don't
going
have.
on in the city. But like if you moved from the city to the country as a 20-year-old, I reckon you'd still be like a tad bored. Like I reckon
City to country. would
there's
be
so
way
much
harder.
stuff to do in the city, and like you get older and you just get tired of that shit, and then you move. To the
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
I reckon it's just a young person thing.
Yeah, I
too,
agree
though.
with that.
Not and like you said, like we're all different.
Mm.
But
No, that's fair. Because
I
like fucking
reckon-
hell, if you've been around all that like chaos, and then you move into a place where there's just like cows fucking mooing and everything,
bored, man.
you'd get a bit bored. wouldn't you?
Especially if you're not used to like that scene at all.
But in that sense, there might be some people that are just like, finally, I get to just breathe.
Yeah,
People
Again-
yearn for nature and the
Yeah.
quiet,
yeah.
and people like
and
that.
and what you're into as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have
You're a
something
bit of that
pulling you
type,
there.
You probably wouldn't be into the city.
Big time. I love the city and I love nature.
Yeah.
And you got to balance it. And you take.
I hate the city.
Yeah.
Openly, fucking don't belong there.
No,
Never
but
will.
like when I say the city, I
Yeah.
just mean like greater. Like I hate that fucking CBD too.
not even
but
here.
you
I
don't-
mean, like
I like to see.
I consider this the city where we are. right
Yeah,
now,
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like some people would consider this a city.
but it's really
We-
not. We're like
But coming
30
from
k's
coming
out.
from like Quamby is not a special. That's for sure.
No way.
Yeah.
Like that place is really
Yeah,
special.
we lived in
Where?
an awesome place.
Quamby,
Upper
Scott's
Beaconsfield, yeah.
mum and dad's house.
Quamby, yeah. God's
Some
country,
people
you
like
call
the
it.
busy,
Upper
the
Beak God's
business.
country, yeah.
Yeah.
Other people like
But
the
that
arts
had a
and the nature.
there was something special about that place.
Fuck yeah. It was a really cool place.
I'm glad
But-
you guys
Beautiful
have
place.
an
We're talking about,
attachment
like,
to
it doesn't
you
exist
grew up, 'cause
anymore.
I reckon Traralgon was a
Yeah.
shithole. For the record,
Well, that's-
for
that's
the
like when we
record,
talked
it's a
about we recorded
shithole.
sensory. Like it had just like a very, very like
Yeah,
I don't know, good feel to it every day.
Well,
it
it
was an inspiring place.
It was also a winter time. It was a winter
Yeah.
EP, I reckon. And there's a lot of fucking
Plus we were in
rain
lockdown.
sounds on there, and there's a lot of fucking stuck in the same room. Like when we put YouTube on, and we'd put like YouTube walking through an epic place, a 4K video, and then put the song on behind it, and
Yeah,
take us to a different place. For me, it's a winter fucking.
I remember being really cold and uncomfortable because we didn't have any chairs.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
I
no
find it
lounging,
so
it's just
interesting
in
because
there.
I reckon. Are you talking about EP one?
Second one.
Oh,
one.
the second.
The first
Yeah,
one's
for sure.
summer.
The first one's very summery. That's what I was
Second
gonna say.
one's more winter,
Yeah, yeah, totally.
and then the
I can
next
feel that.
one.
What's the third one going to be?
Wait,
Yeah,
you guys,
I
are
was
you
thinking
guys,
the
don't know yet.
It's a
you guys doing
combo.
the LP?
We
No,
don't know.
there's
dude.
the-
Well, we've been talking about doing an EP now.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
It depends.
I
It
was
depends.
thinking
It all
Whatever
depends.
have the most impact, really.
there's almost two sets of shit going on, I reckon, with the songs. Like there's the ones which are like summery and they're cruisy ones.
Mm.
And they're like one category. And then there's other ones which are like more
More
alternative rock
chill.
bangers, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And I reckon like they don't maybe belong together.
Yeah,
I reckon they kind of do, but they have to be like the right ones.
it's all about
paired.
the sequencing too.
Like you could have Morning Sun with Worry, but Worry Morning Sun would not be like the main song, even though it's probably my favorite one.
Mm,
Like you'd
Mm.
have to make sure that the ones that are going to be bangers are going to be like
bangers.
genuine bangers.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because like you know, you have some records and you're like, fuck, it's all over the place. Doesn't know what it wants to be. But then you have some records where it is all over the place, but it like flows really well and it just works like seamlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
guess
reckon
we have
that's a fine art in itself.
we
That's
have the
hard,
songs that are more
balancing
like
that.
kind of like we go down the route of just experimenting with them, but then we have the songs that we know they're like got that pop element to
Yeah.
them, and then we just kind of
Totally.
ride that direction as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
but we haven't been together on the new songs yet. We haven't,
Yeah.
we haven't sat
Yeah,
down and
you
like,
need to flesh
worked
them out
on 'em.
and workshop them.
Yeah, like once we get together and we like start having a good time working on sounds, they'll move into completely different things to what they are now.
We're in
anyway.
juvenile
You guys have hardly been
stages.
able to
Yeah.
practice together for the last like 4 months, really.
Yeah, I
so-
know. But buzzer. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, no shit.
The
Yeah.
COVID buzzer.
We've had independent minds making music, and we're going to bring it all together
You gotta.
and make
Collide
this shit a
them all.
band.
It's also very hard. It's been hard being apart, I reckon.
Miss you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it has been
It's
hard.
been awful.
It's just been well. Anyway, we'll steer.
We're
away from
getting
this here.
doomy and gloomy.
Yeah.
The the truth is, we're back together.
We're back, baby.
And this is incredible.
This is fucking nice.
It is sick. Even
Okay.
just seeing you earlier, Tom. Like I've seen, and you Schoondy, but like you're the first person I saw since like
Yonks.
for fucking ages that hasn't
Yeah.
been Green and Scott. That's not true. Actually, I've seen a lot of people, but
Mm-hmm.
like that I
Tom
haven't
lives
seen in
out-
a long time.
out
Well,
in the
it's nice to
sticks.
sit in the room with everyone and talk like humans instead of just talking through text
Or
like
just a phone or
every
something.
Yeah, on the
day.
video
You
chat.
lose that sense of
And video chat.
Fucking
It's like
video
video
chat.
chats is
Human.
nice, but it's like
oh,
so no, you go.
Yeah.
You can't
Oh, no,
smell.
no,
yeah,
real
it's
time's
fucking
hard.
shit.
chatting's awkward, and
And
you
we're
can't smell
working-
your brother's
and we're all
farts.
working and
And that's always important to
it's
communicate.
throughout
That's
the days
essential.
we're all
Yeah.
busy as well. So it's like
Yeah, and like when you do chat after work, you just all cool. You're just
everyone's
like,
ready to
yeah.
nah.
throw the towel.
It's
in.
kind of like, hey, going, and can you fuck off soon?
Yeah.
Because I want to go to sleep.
But there's too
Yeah.
many distractions. You're in your fucking sacred space where you just sit down and flick through Instagram.
Yeah, well,
or
that's
whatever.
Well, we
it,
should
you
talk
know?
about how good it is for us to go. Like when we do these stints, we go away. So like we have been recently going away somewhere, like remote, recently, and that's been like a really good thing for us.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a
that's it.
massive thing. Like we
Zero
were saying
distractions, you know,
before, with the with like being in different places and like being in nature and shit. It's like
inspires you.
it's good. It's like gets you going. And you're just like
Yeah.
fuck yeah, you.
Like June last year, we went away to Seymour, and then we were going to do some recording, and Tommy ended up didn't make it, and it was actually his house because of a snap lockdown. But
we trashed it.
But it didn't end up being a recording session. It became like we were right near the Hume Highway on a massive block of land, so we just
That
we
place
had
is
we could
so
make as much
OP.
noise as
Is
we
that with the
wanted.
dam?
Yeah.
probably-
We made as
Oh,
much noise as
so-
we wanted for pretty much 24/7, and we took it as just like a jam session, pretty
Yeah.
much. And it was just like everybody grew a lot there. Like I wasn't
didn't.
really playing the drums, and then
Same
like
night,
I
man,
picked up the drums a lot more. Like Benny and Scott taught me how to play a 4/4 beat, and it's just like everyone kind of grew a bit more, and that's good. More of that would be good, I think.
Yeah, I remember the walks. They were the
Yeah.
takeaway for me. We would like walk through all those meadows and stuff. That was so sick. Like you'd just get pretty lit, and then you'd just walk up through those through all the trees and stuff, and then all of a sudden you hit a fence, and it's just like meadows. It's
Well,
like,
I drove through Seymour yesterday, and everything was flashing back really strong.
Seymour's pretty.
I
epic.
I
love
wanted to
Seymour,
be
dude.
there so bad. I was just, upset, crying, which was, you get a few breakthroughs through a bit of sadness.
Yeah, totally, totally.
Do you ever?
But
That's
more
still-
stuff like that.
So the best
That's
shit happens, I
that's where everyone grows, I guess.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, we'll do that. Like it'll happen soon. We'll go
Yeah.
away and like,
Dude,
Seymour or
that
something.
fucking Seymour place is just OP.
oh yeah.
I remember
Cold
it's like a
showers.
little
every time I think of
gas
Seymour,
LPG
I think of
bottle
sitting in that
wasn't working.
car of yours, and you show me, you introduced me to my bloody
Oh,
Valentine,
MBV.
dude. it's
Check
changed
this
my
out,
life.
Benny.
Changed
You're like,
my life.
what is this,
This
Tommy?
was intense.
I'm like, dude,
I was sitting there listening to like clowns and like churches.
Benny's.
And then Tom just shows
Churches
me my
and
bloody
clowns.
Valentine. Yeah, weird mix. And then
Yeah.
Tom's just like, check this out. And I was like,
Then Benny became the shoegaze king.
You mean
yeah,
churches?
just went down a
Churches as in
shoegaze
the
rabbit hole.
Scottish band churches?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was showing Tommy churches. And he's
awesome.
like, this is sick. The first record. And I was listening to Clowns, which was sick. But then he showed me this. And it just changed my world. I haven't everything up.
How old are you?
It would have been like
19
20.
or 20.
Yeah, 19, 20.
I haven't had music that's changed my world since I was like a teenager. I reckon.
Like it happens to
Well-
me every week.
Like,
Like I've,
smart.
I reckon
So
I've fallen
annoying.
off a bit. Like when I worked at Medicare, I could just like scroll my phone and like I'd search for new music every day. But like recently, I just don't have that time to like,
Mm.
or I don't know.
yeah,
like-
well, I have that time, so that's probably
Yeah.
why I've got it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like when
why
you have so much
every
free
week
time to
I've got
just
something that's like you flick through your playlist and you listen to what you've saved, but then
Yep.
like you'll drift off and then you'll find something that really clicks and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, this is what's excited me for the week.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
that band that didn't change my world, but it blew my mind. That with 77 Skunk. You know, what are they called? Still Nasty, I think. Do you know that? Anyway, you know
What is it?
Oh, you
something
got-
that buff
Sydney band.
Sydney band, yeah.
You got
You'll get there, you'll
when
get
you
there.
when you were snowboarding and Crumb got stuck on your iPod.
Crumb actually probably did do that to me, legit.
Yeah.
Crumb did that.
Where was
Shady
that? Where- Oh, you
nasty.
were in Japan.
It was in Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Shady
that's
nasty.
like I think actually Kurt Vile flogged me in for a bit. Actually, he fully.
He's
changed
fucking
my
epic.
world.
I reckon
Scotty
there's
got me
stuff.
onto him.
Kurt Vowell's
Did I?
sick, dude.
Is
He's
it-
mad.
It's a
Bass
good thing to
backwards.
talk away, like how
Yeah.
music impacts you when you're
It's,
traveling.
it's hectic
Like,
though, dude. Like also, like you're right though, Benny. Like it's crazy. Like the music you listen to is like a mid teenager to a late teenager. Literally will stay with you for the rest of your whole fucking life.
Yeah,
Like
but-
your taste
Yeah,
can
man.
change so much, and you'll go back and listen to that record you listened to as a kid.
Blaming it on
And
puberty.
it's yeah,
Well,
I don't
that's what
know.
it is, it's all the
hectic.
let's
hormones.
talk
Yeah.
about let's
Yeah.
talk about like
Literally,
the let's talk about the artists that soundtracked a trip.
Dude, totally, man. I can name us
Yeah,
at
I could-
soundtrack.
I could
Yeah,
talk
I
about
can
this
do it.
for
as
a
You
long
first,
time.
Schoondy.
Go Schoondy.
Go on, Schoondy.
Oh, like when I was going through Europe at like 19, fuck, I was way too young to go to Europe. Like I was a baby.
That was gap year sort
Anyway,
of shit.
yeah, I was a fucking doofus. Anyway, Smith Street Band, first record. Benny's, Rainbows in Space.
Shout out,
Series.
Craig Goss.
Shout out to Craig, my man.
legend.
Yeah, those three records I reckon were like I was like as a teenager I was a massive music snob and I used to just listen to like UK shit because I was like into like post hardcore and metal and I was just like nothing good in Melbourne. And then I discovered like Melbourne scene like changed the game. And then I left Melbourne and went to Europe so I couldn't watch those bands.
Oh, no.
No, but yeah, that's what I think of.
But at least you got to see the bands from the UK that you liked.
Yeah, well then I went back to Melbourne and I took Tom to about 50 gigs in the space of 6 months. So sick.
You love gigs. Who doesn't? But like,
We went
you
to
love
Smith Street,
gigs.
did we? And then I got
Yeah, you
too
fucking
stoned.
ditched, man.
Yeah. We smoked a Jozzy, and I got way too fucking blitzed.
And
And I
we're
had to
watching
catch
the
a
front
train home.
bottoms. We're watching
The opening
bought
act.
This guy's ticket, and I fucking.
Could you imagine
We
the
went, we
LEDs
went
in
to
the
the front
train?
bottoms. We went to the front. I was watching the front bottoms, and like we're standing at the back, and I said to Tommy, "I'm just gonna go," and he's like, "Oh man, I'm just gonna stay here." And then they finished their set, and I'm walking around the venue. I'm like, "Where the fuck is he?" Didn't have any messages. And I'm like, "Tom, where are you?" He's like, "Oh, sorry, man. I just too stoned. Had to go home." Like,
How did
I
you get?
sat
How did
there
you
and
get
watched
home
the
on your
Smith-
own?
I watched
I
the
was
Smith
so
Street Band
blitzed.
by myself. and I
What was the
just
thought
like,
process for
fucking
that?
hell.
Because like, surely if
I
you
don't
were on your
know.
own and you were like walking home to a train station and you would just rip that, you'd just be like, "Oh, this is probably a worse idea."
I don't know. You know, you
There
just
was
get
a
so
lot of-
fucked. Like, I
Yeah,
need to go
it was
to
like
bed.
it was like a sold out show, you know. It's just like too many people.
I can't do
It's
this.
like a threshold.
I fucking
It
left.
was- it's funny now. I wasn't.
I remember from that night, I was at the train station waiting for the train, and there was this fucking old white dude, probably in his 50s, drunk as fuck, with some dumb C word mate, dumb cunt mate. Anyway, and there was just like these dudes who were maybe Indian or Pakistani. They were just standing there doing nothing, and this white cunt was just like racial slurs at these
Oh,
dudes.
it's not what you want.
And I was
is it?
way too blazed to fucking do anything. I was just like, I fucking hate this fuckwit.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh,
I just
also,
wanted to tell you guys about that. I was just such
shout
a
out Luca
fuckwit.
Brasi too. Luca Brasi, same time period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did I say serious?
What about you, Benny? What did you get? Kurt Vile, I know that's a big one for you.
Kurt Vile
On holiday?
did massive things
Alex
to me.
G probably.
Oh,
Alex
yeah.
G in America, it would have been, well, in Japan it was Crumb, and then but in America it was Alex G's like first, Kurt Vile's first 3 albums,
Yeah.
and then Alex G's pretty much I've just got with the others,
Yeah.
fucking going ham on him. And then Rolling Coaster Blackout Fever, they,
Dude, Rolling
they had a
Coaster,
new album out.
That
first
that
special
second
memory in
EP
my
is
head.
boss.
I'll have a quick chat with Scotty here.
Yeah, man.
We had a lot of fucking songs like Whitney's album.
Yeah. I was gonna say Whitney,
There were
yeah.
just like
yeah.
heaps of albums that we all
Remember
listened
that
to
song,
together.
The Generationals. It had one.
Oh
song.
yeah, it was one song. I was like,
There's only one song, but it was just like, okay, we like this one. and
Whitney's,
then
Yeah.
the rest.
Whitney's an interesting one. Whitney really sets a mood.
Whitney for me. Every time I hear Whitney, I think about driving into the Grand Canyon
Yeah.
with Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
It's
we-
so
that'd have been
I love
awesome.
that. Like, I guess we are talking about, but like just like transportational quality.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I
that's
saw
what it-
something
it's
written
so
about Whitney,
hectic.
but they said how like timeless they are, as in like that album. What's the first album called? The breakthrough album, the one with the rose on it. I can't remember what it's called.
No Woman wasn't it named after No Woman? or something?
Something like that, but it's like one of those albums that could have been written in the 60s or now.
That was
and
like
it's just completely timeless.
Yeah.
that
Timeless
that
album.
Women album I showed you the other
Oh
week.
yeah, that's a
You know,
cool-
that's like 2010, dude. But like,
that's
it
one.
could have been in the 70s if you like, you know, didn't
That's-
have any context of it.
I was listening to it at work, so I couldn't fully appreciate it. But
yeah, man.
I'm gonna listen to it again in a better setting because you're right.
I listened
It's
to it
got
th-
like
that
bittersweet.
day. It's one of those ones that you can like. It gets better with every listener. I reckon Tommy can attest to this.
Yeah, I'd believe that.
Yeah, I need a piece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I'm not
grab-
actually. Nah,
Oh.
I'm all good.
I've got to drive. So
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, please.
But
Oh,
listen to
this
that
one,
record
mate.
I will.
Do we take a short break or?
Yeah, we might break. AKA,
How long have we been going for?
well, we've been going for a while, but I don't know exactly how long.
Piss break and then
What was the record?
Thanks, Tommy.
public strain.
We can have a break. Have a break.
We might. What do you reckon? Just wrap it up because I reckon I'm probably going to go home.
We've got. Yeah, we're probably at that
I
point.
reckon that was a pretty good run.
Yep. Well, who wants to do the sign off?
Scotty.
You go, man.
I'll beatbox over it while you sign it off.
You-
Ready?
You do it, dude. You nail it. Oh, man. Thanks,
Yep.
everybody, for listening. We appreciate it all. If you even did listen, there's probably one or two of you out there. So, no, well, thanks for listening. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Probably not, but,
Divers.
Star Podcast.